JJ on the all defensive teams. Just as a coach, are you proud that they became recognized for how good they've been defensively for you so far?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we want to be a great defensive team and it takes individuals and a team collective. So for them to be recognised, I've been talking about Stewie and JJ all season long about how they impact this team. So that's a great reward for them and all their hard work. Would have loved to see Lainey on there, but she probably doesn't get all the recognition that she deserves on that. But she's a competitor and we're going to need her defensive presence in this series.
Hi, Sandy. You have players on this team that won championships before college and pro, but Sabrina is one who hasn't.
Yeah.
So throughout this season and just your work with her, where have you seen that hunger to win a championship this year in particular stand out the most?
Yeah, she's probably that COVID year kind of knocked her out a little bit, didn't it? She would have experienced that. But look, I think it's just the maturity that she's shown, how she's grown from year to year. Still a young player. She keeps elevating her game. She has the mindset. You could come in with all the talent, but if you don't have the mindset, you don't know how to win. She holds herself to high levels, high standards. She's been in big games before, so we're going to lean into that experience. She's excited and ready to go.
Over here, obviously Chelsea missed the first game that you guys played against them, but how have you seen her progress throughout the season? How is she different than the player you guys faced earlier in the year?
She's more healthy now. You saw that, post Olympics, she's just getting her legs back underneath her. And sometimes when you're out injury with a major injury, which is what she had, it takes time. We always talked about, it's like she's the head of that team. And I think you saw some of her, her game with the old Chelsea coming back. She's playing well. So that's another one we have to make sure we keep in check.
Hey, Sandy. Aces obviously can throw up points in bunches real quick. Is there a key to they're going to make their runs to keeping it to 7-8 points as opposed to letting it get up to 15-18?
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. Look, it's just us making sure that we're playing in the right way. Like we can't get anxious and take bad shots and allow them to get out and get easy baskets. We go away from what we want to do with our scout. We've got to come and execute the scout, and then we'll make adjustments out of it there too. Teams are going to go on runs. So play us. This is the best, two great teams are going to play today. They're going to go on runs. We just got to make sure that those runs are we can control them a little bit and get refocused and go on our own run. I thought Atlanta, not Vegas. I thought they played really well, but we were down in that second game. And I thought that was great preparation for us. And I saw where we've learned from last year. It's like, we're okay. It's okay. Let's just go out and execute at a higher level now at both ends of the floor. And just, you don't need to think you need to get it back in that 2 minutes. We're down. I'm going to get it back. We have to, you just stay poised more than anything.
And building off of that, just sort of how this team stays poised, Stewie has spoken a lot about how she's more confident in the togetherness of this group this year. So I guess I'm just curious, what does staying together in a series like this mean, sound like, and look like?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what it says. It's like a sisterhood. You build some deeper relationships. You're more vulnerable. You know that you have the team there to help you, and then vice versa. Together means you're together. Together, trust, teamwork. I keep reminding him, just remember what got us here. We don't need to go out and play hero ball. We need to play team ball, and that's what's going to give us our greatest success.
And to follow up, yesterday at practice, Jonquel referred to Olaf, who is your assistant and husband, as the professor. And so how would you assess that nickname and how do you sum up his impact on this team and on this series?
It's a professor. That's interesting. He'll love that. Number one, he's German, if you didn't know that. So if you met many Germans, Olaf's very German. That's probably why we match. I'm Australian, so I've got a little bit of lightheartedness about me and that, but he's very direct. I'm sure you've all felt it at times, but that's what makes him great. He's been a head coach for years and hopefully gets another opportunity in this league because he deserves it. Lucky to have him on our staff. It's his scout, obviously against Vegas, puts a lot of work into that. I think we came up with a really good game plan. But, just the little things, just how he communicates. But he's very dry-witted, and it's it's fun to see them banter against each other, the players. But he has a lighthearted side too. He's not all serious. So we wouldn't be together otherwise, would we?
Thanks, Brian. Sandy, the matchup here is familiar. Obviously, people are going to tune in, on the big TV broadcasts and all that and see that. The round is different this time. From a basketball perspective, players wise, tactically, what do you think is different about this time versus last year?
Look, I think we've grown as a team. The experiences that we had last year, that's an opportunity for development. And yes, we didn't add a lot, but we added key players. Leah Phoebish, Kennedy Burke. I think that's been good for us. Niara's healthier, so we can go a little bit for more depth. But I think you build more chemistry by spending more time together. We've experienced some tough moments together. So as long as you're learning and staying together, that's our growth. And I think that's our biggest year of growth. We probably trust each other with the chemistry that we have. We've been through everything. So it's just remaining together. And I think that's the biggest difference. Semi-final opponent. Vegas are playing their best basketball now. So yeah, I'm excited for the series. We know it's going to be a tough one, but hopefully we just continue to play Liberty basketball.
Hey, Sandy, I was just wondering if we could go in the Wayback Machine a little bit and talk about what it was like for you as a player back in the late 90s and early 2000s to play in New York. And I know it was a different arena, but just the energy and stuff. How did that feel? And how now as a coach do you, I guess, appreciate that?
Yeah, obviously coming from Australia when we first came to New York at MSG, and everyone was talking about how amazing it's going to be. And they were trying to tell, there was a few Aussies on the Detroit Shock team. It's just different. And we walk in, I was like, seriously, this is going up in the elevators. You know what I mean? It's very smelly down below where you come in. And I'm like, okay, this is great. And then, but when you come out, it was just an aura about it. And it was kind of weird being a foreigner too. And then once the game started, just how electric the fans were. Everyone says this is the mecca of basketball, and it's still very true, how passionate they are, how much they support their home team. And I love that fans are into it. You see our fans, I love it. How loud does it get in here? It's a performance we're putting on, but I loved it as a player. Going to MSU is one of my favorite, places to come and play. And because of the overall thing, not just being New York, but just the atmosphere of the games, we always had very competitive series and games against New York. So those rivalries were fun as well.
Hey, Sandy. At game 2, you mentioned the improving defense and how you thought it could go from good to great against a team like Vegas. What's going to be one of the early keys you sort of watch for with your perimeter defense to start the game?
Look, yeah, I mean, you got to be locked in. It's physicality, KYP. We talk about that. We know each other. We know what they all want to do. Now it's about stopping it. It's taking pride and slowing your man down before they catch the ball. We always talk about that. Your positioning, where's your positioning on and off the ball? And then obviously it's team defense, what kind of shot we want to give up and make it really hard for them. So it's going to be, I think, both ways. We got great players. They have great players. So it's going to be a bit of a chess game out there. How do we create advantages for those players? So, I mean, that excites me, obviously, as a coach. And, hopefully it'll be a good result at the end.
So I'm going to piggyback on the Wayback Machine as well, but comparing it to what you have, I mean, MSG was back in the day really a little bit of an exception. And now we're seeing those crowds, and we saw it this summer with record-breaking crowds. Do you ever stand on the sidelines and catch yourself thinking, this is what we've become? Do you get chills? And along those lines, what does these playoffs, what can they do to build on the remarkable success of the league so far?
Yeah. It's been really special just to see how much it's grown from my short time here in 3 years. I think we play an entertaining style of basketball, but we always encourage fans, if you just come to one game, you'll fall in love with our game. And I don't know how many people have told me that. And that's fun. I think we talk about we're on a movement. Women's sports been in the forefront a little bit. We're getting more media. Look at all you people here. There's an interest in it. And that's what we need. We're on TV. We've created stories. They're not just basketball players, they're human beings. They're amazing. But the atmosphere, it does give me chills. Now, I'm pretty locked in when I'm coaching. Sometimes when I look back, my children will say, you're getting a bit excited on the sideline. I'm like, really? How embarrassing. But, you know, sometimes this takes over because it means so much. We want to win and not just for the, you know, the players, but also for New York. I think in the past we've said if New York can be successful, that's going to elevate our league to another level. And I think that has been the case. Yes, we've got some really great talented players like the college kids coming in. I think that was fantastic how they've raised our profile. But if we can be great here, this is the mecca of basketball, isn't it? So the bigger and better we'll get.
Hey, Coach. Stewie yesterday at practice talked about how she really wanted this home court advantage for this matchup or throughout the playoffs because of everything we've talked about so far. In a game or in a series like this where home court advantage matters as much as it does, how much does tonight especially matter for you guys or just these home games to make sure you keep that home court advantage?
Yeah, we worked hard to get the home court advantage, so we don't want to lose it by losing a game. And you talked about our crowd. They are the six man because the energy that they bring us, and when we need it, they help us get over it. And it really does help if you're a player out there just to feel the energy in the building. If you're tired, that gives you more. You're not tired anymore. It kind of gets you going. So we've got to utilize that, and you know we want to play well for our fans too. For the ones that come and see us every single game here and have supported us, even supported us in the past, but how we've grown it now. You know, it's home court. We don't want to lose that fact. I mean, we're fine going on the road and winning there too now. I think we have that experience, but this is special because we want to play well in front of our home fans.
Hi, Sandy. Are you able to get anything approaching a normal night of sleep before a game like this? And is your routine at all altered just due to excitement and anticipation?
Well, the rain messed it up today. I was going for a walk. I usually go for a walk and a day game to Prospect Park. It's pretty cool. But today, yeah, that went out the window. To be quite honest, I suppose I've been in so many big games, you know, just, you know, the Olympics and that. I've done all the hard work. Now I just relax, like have a good sleep, not a problem. Now I do think about plays and all that, but I get a good night's sleep. And I suppose that's something that I've learned about. I need to take care of my wellness as well and check in and, you know, be ready. I've done the work now. So now it's just getting out there and trusting what we've done. And then, you know, I've had enough experience in these big moments and hopefully, you know, I can help them do my job, my part to help us have a really good game. But yeah, no, I feel good, but I would have went for a walk, but that went out the window. Thanks, guys.